Yeah, a black box theatre. So I'll tell you what a black box theatre is basically. Typically the idea started with a completely black color room, right? And a clean room with no furniture.
Okay.
So this was for theatre artists to practice.
In example, Ahmedabad or example in the Indian market, what are the lessons learned?
So if you're talking about market and dealing with clients, I've learned that always, pick your clients wisely. It's not only about money, it's about the kind of people that you're working with. The thought on my mind that time was, I'm making something. It's so much fun. And as a guy, that engineering kida, making something, breaking something, soldering.
Something.
And then when you connect it to the amplifier, that sound that comes out, and then playing music, even if it doesn't sound great, it's just something that you've created. So you're taking a lot of...
So, Karan, welcome to the Next Wave podcast. I think it's going to be one of the very interesting audio-visual podcasting conversations that we have on this topic. So, welcome to the Next Wave podcast.
Thank you.
All right. So, Karan, we wanted to know a little bit more about you. Your story is insanely interesting, being a first-generation entrepreneur. So, if you could talk to us or share with us, who you are as a person, who Karan Gandhi is, then it will help the audience get a view of, how things we can start from here.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Bombay. I shifted here in the year of 2006, 2007.
Okay.
And I've done my electronics and video engineering, specialized in sound engineering. And since 10th standard, it was in my mind that this is something that I want to do.
And why was that?
That is an interesting story. So in the holidays of 10th standard after boards, in Bombay, that's a big thing. And because after 10th is college.
Yeah.
For us there. Here it's still school, I think, right? Till 12th. Yeah. So I was getting quite bored in the vacation, and I told my dad, we had a projector back then. So I told my dad that we have a projector, why don't you buy me a surround sound system? I'll, pass some time watching movies. So he said, no, I'm not going to buy you a home theater. I said, why? What else should I do? So he's like, make a home theater for yourself if you want. Okay. I'm like, I'm in 10th standard, I'm not even passed yet. You want me to make a home theater system? I don't even know what that is. So he said, okay, let's do this. I buy your home theater system. You break it apart. You go find raw material. You buy all the parts. I will give you my carpenters. So he's an architect. So he has a team of carpenters.
Okay.
So he said, I'll give you my team of carpenters to make speaker boxes. You fit in all those speakers, do the wiring, do the soldering, and make a home theater system. It works out, it works out. If it doesn't, you already have a home theater that I've already bought for you.
Okay.
Well, so he actually did buy me a home theater.
Okay. Wow.
I opened it up. I started supplying parts. I started sourcing parts, there's this one road called Lamington Road in Bombay where you get all hardware.
Okay.
So I would go there, buy speaker drivers, buy wire coils, buy a solder rod, solder it.
Okay.
And I did all of that, and I got so involved that I don't remember seeing or watching a single movie in that vacation.
Okay.
But that kind of gave me the path I wanted to take by the results were out. So by the time results were out, I was sure that, this is so interesting to me that I want to study this in more detail.
Okay. But what was going in your mind when you are making this or going to Lamington Road? So what was going through your mind? Because you're like 10 years, 10 standard. So what is that guy thinking, that kid example?
So the thought on my mind that time was, I'm making something. It's so much fun. And as a guy, that engineering kida, making something, breaking something, soldering. And then when you connect it to the amplifier, that sound that comes out, and then playing music, even if it doesn't sound great, it's just something that you've created. So you're taking a lot of passion, a lot of pride in it, right? So that kind of became my passion. Oh, this sounds so good. And then I kept trying to improvise it every time. So then I was like, I would buy 2 different speakers and different hardware circuits and listen to the difference between the two. And I would learn, oh, why is this better? What is better in the first one? What is better in this one?
Okay.
And then improvise. And in the second year of college, dad gave me like this small little 10 feet by 10 feet workshop where I had 2 carpenters, 1 painter,
Okay.
1 electrician, and I would sit and design circuits,
Okay.
buy the parts, and started designing speakers.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so but right after 10th or example college, in this electrical engineering that you did, so was it clear in your mind, I would want to get more technical into the same field because you have found what you're looking for, you have found a passion or you found an interest, because you have found how to be this kida in context of going deeper way ahead of anybody else, because a lot of people spend so much time trying to understand, they don't get that passion or that fun or that ownership kind of a thing for an aspect. So was it clear after these, because that's a project for just after vacation wala project hai. Sometimes it just it goes off, fades away. So during that 11th and 12th, you're still strong in that part, and then the electrical happened, or electrical was just something that happened?
So I was pretty sure.
Okay.
Now, quite a few things in my life have happened where I've just taken a quick decision without giving it a lot of thought, and it's actually worked for me. Like even the decision to shift to Ahmedabad was something like that.
Okay.
So 11th and 12th, now being being an engineer and from a Guju family, job was really never on my mind.
Okay.
And so immediately after 10th, I didn't do junior college. I directly did a diploma in electronics and video engineering.
Okay.
When the orientation of electronics and video engineering was happening, I asked the dean of that college that after finishing this diploma, should I do a degree? And she asked me a very simple question. Do you want to do a job or you want to do your own thing? I said, I'm very clear. I want to do my own thing. Either I will manufacture speakers or I will get into consulting for audio video.
Okay.
She said that, okay, so 3 years of diploma is going to teach you enough to start your own business.
Okay.
After that, 3 years of degree is kind of going to give you the higher pay scale if you start a job.
Okay.
Now, even if a person wants to start a job, 3 years of diploma plus 3 years of experience. At the end of the 6 years, where a degree person would also be out in the market looking for a job versus you also being there, you would have saved money in those 3 years, whereas a degree student would be spending money.
Okay.
But at the end of that, you both will be at par. You with experience and them with textbook knowledge.
Okay.
So don't worry about that. Do a diploma and then you're free to do whatever you want.
Okay.
But well, I didn't want to just stop there. So then I did a specialization in sound engineering, which taught me acoustics, which taught me how sound behaves in any room.
Okay.
In fact, it taught me everything about how sound goes from here to the microphone, to the entire processing system and out from a speaker that's being used at the listener end.
Okay. So now after your 10th, finding the first love, or example, the passion, you've got into, you've done this diploma as well. And you've gotten a little bit more technical, right?
Yeah.
And but the mindset is clear because of the decision that you made. So now what happens? So now what is Karan looking after? Because you're still in Mumbai, right? So what happens then?
I'm still in Mumbai.
Yeah. So 2006 you came to Mumbai.
To Ahmedabad.
Yes, sorry, to Ahmedabad. So you're still still in Mumbai after finishing your diploma. Sound engineering.
No, so I finished my diploma in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, 2003, 4 and 2006. Yeah.
Okay.
My sound engineering was 2 years.
Okay. So you finished sound engineering and then you came to Ahmedabad?
Yeah.
Okay. So why the shift again to Ahmedabad?
So from sound engineering, I was getting a placement in a cruise liner to do live sound on the cruise.
Okay.
But that was quite a challenging job for me, considering being in the sea for 45 days and then a 15-day holiday and again 45 days in the sea was not something that I was too keen on doing. And it was during that phase when I think the last year of my college was going on and I happened to come. So my mom's side is from Ahmedabad. So I happened to come here for Navratri.
Okay.
And my cousins were pretty excited to show me the Bose store that had just opened up on CG Road.
Okay.
And when we were going around the city, I was looking at all these new bungalows that were coming up, and SG Highway was a big thing back then. So I saw the kind of scope there was, the kind of houses that were coming up.
Okay.
And I asked my cousins, what all options do people have for high-end audio? And they said Bose store is the only option that, they have. And for everything else, they have to travel to Bombay or to Delhi.
Correct.
So it struck me then that, I am trying to find a opportunity to start somewhere. And my parents have always, supported all my decisions without any questions. So when I went back to Bombay, I said, you know what, I think I want to start my career in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
Probably as a 2-3 year project.
Okay.
And then I'll come back to Bombay and start my practice in Bombay.
Okay.
But the market and the city accepted me so well that I made up my mind I didn't want to go back.
Okay.
And that was kind of the time of all these low-cost carriers starting. SpiceJet, Indigo, Go. Deccan, right? So connectivity was not an issue at all. So even back then in 2007 and 8, I was doing projects in Mussoorie, in Bombay, in Pune, in Bangalore and in Delhi. And we had direct connectivity almost literally everywhere. Like Pune was a flight from here to Bombay and a 15-minute flight from Bombay to Pune immediately connecting. So it was total flying time was about 1 hour 15 minutes. So it was so convenient. I started making friends in this city. It was more of a relaxed place rather than the chaos of Bombay. And I had done a lot of it, like traveling by local trains and BST buses in my college days in Bombay. I enjoyed the comfort here, the newfound freedom, living alone. So that kind of made me happy, and I decided, this is where I want to settle.
Okay.
So again, I told you, hasty decision, but worked in my favor.
Wow. So I think that's again maybe a lot of luck as well, part of it. So, so now, example, you've thought about coming to Ahmedabad, relocating, a major decision, understanding the opportunity that exists in Ahmedabad, looking at the bungalows and all the aspects, and comparing, competitor analysis, which is Bose store, which was there. And then coming over. So what happens in the aspect of setting up your company or getting your first customer? Because you said that you were taking flights across, you were doing projects pan India, reaching out to different, serving different people across India. So who was your first customer and what is the story behind it?
That's a very interesting question. So the day I started my office in Ahmedabad was the last day of an exhibition where I participated. So there was a hi-fi audio video expo that's happened only once ever in Ahmedabad till today. That was the only year it happened. After that, it's never happened.
Dedicated for you, maybe.
Again, I'm telling you, it's all been in my favor. So it was called AV Max. And it happened in Pride. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday was this expo and I participated in it because I had zero contacts here. I participated in it. People would come to my booth. They would talk to me. They'd be like, too young a guy, I was 21. I didn't even have a beard. So, I made a few contacts there, and then they started calling me up because I had a display. So they would come listen to speakers, but nothing was clicking. That was in August. And then in September, I got a call from this one gentleman saying that I contacted the company. They said that, yes, this new office, this new company that has started in Ahmedabad has one of the speakers that you're looking for. You can connect with them. They will give it to you. And he already had an existing system. It's just that a pair of surround speakers they were finding weren't available. And I had them. So he called me up, and he's a very dear friend even today. Lives in Kalhar, Shilaj. And I told him that, I don't have a car. I don't have anything. I have the pair of speakers. I don't even have anyone who can drill holes and install it. He's saying, okay, where I live is very far. You can't come by rickshaw. And we didn't have Ubers back then. So he told me, okay, I'll pick you up from your office and then I'll drop you back. And I said, okay. So I carried a bag with a drill machine and everything on one shoulder and carried the box, put it in the boot of his car, and we went driving. It was me there drilling holes in the wall to put in screws to hang those surround speakers.
Wow.
So he is my first client and still a very dear friend today.
Okay, amazing. So, but again, you had the audacity to, without having any aspect, just to build contacts, to be a part of an exhibition put up a booth and talk to people at the age of 21.
Yeah.
So that's pretty, amazing.
Yeah.
So now getting customers, now getting the feel of it, getting some contacts here, maybe leading to references and everything. So you're starting to grow in the aspects. So loud and clear. Again, you've been in the business for almost 20 years, right? Or 18 years.
18 years. Yeah.
18 years. Going to be 20 in another 2 years. So what are the lessons you have learned in the, in the audio video space? In example, Ahmedabad, or example in the Indian market, what are the lessons learned?
So, if you're talking about market and dealing with clients, I've learned that always, pick your clients wisely.
Okay.
It's not only about money. It's about the kind of people that you're working with. If the client has that drive to understand what you're doing, then they're going to appreciate your work.
Value part of it.
The value. They'll see the value because they will have the right questions for you. They will see it in the right way. Now, if a client is only going to be going for the system because they want the name that, oh, we've got Loud and Clear to do it, then, he'll be happy with just Loud and Clear, but he's never going to use it. So I will never feel that satisfaction. Okay, I'm very happy with these guys' work, right? Also, that when it comes only to the figures, what's this system going to cost me? Again, I try not to put my foot in there because, eventually the client's going to cut corners and you'll never get the right results from it. So I've learned that, pick your projects very wisely.
Okay.
So I don't want 50 projects at a time on my hand. I'm happy with 30, 40, but I want the good ones.
Okay. And why the name Loud and Clear? Because it's again like two words and an and in between.
Yeah.
So you would have very less brand names with such kind of names, right? It's like two words, a normal word, but you got a Loud and Clear, and then you have an ampersand and. So how the name came up, or
it relates to audio and video.
So you just put in two words and then put an and.
So audio, you want your sound system to be loud and clear.
Okay. So just the outcome, what you want for every customer, in the most subtle or the base manner. That's why the name came in.
Yeah.
Again, in Loud and Clear perspective, you have team members who've been there with you for quite a long time, right? So can you share stories about one or two or team members who are very interesting in the space, or who've added very interesting value, or you have built some certain relationship with in context to working together with them?
So my core team, the first guy I have since the day of inception of Loud and Clear.
Okay.
He was working at my neighbor's office. He was a peon.
Okay.
Was sitting right outside the office all day, would go get chai, pani. And my neighbor didn't give him salary for a month or two. And he walked into my office and, can I start working for you from tomorrow?
Okay.
I said, yeah, okay, come. He didn't know anything except for go get chai, go get coffee. And today he handles all finances, tally. He's like my right hand today. Like if I need anything at any time, any client, he will know everything. He operates the computer. He does everything, filing, everything.
And he's not educated?
Not at all.
Not at all. It's just done by all learning or example by sitting together.
Yeah.
Wow.
And other staff. So I've been very fortunate that my staff members stick around for a really long time.
Yeah.
Except for the office boys who will keep changing, right?
Yeah.
So my engineers, they're always very driven. So, we want to go and study this. We want to learn this. We want a certification in this. So I have CEDIA certified staff on board. CEDIA is Custom Electronics Design and Installers Association. It's an international body that kind of sets standards for AV rooms, like a home cinema room for projection and all. So I myself am certified in CEDIA, multiple certifications, but these guys have also gotten themselves certified. And they have that drive, If I say Ganesh Visarjan ke din pe who wants a chutti, they'll be like, sir, ghar pe bore hote, we'll come to office. Because I think I've always wanted a very young team. We don't call ourselves very young today, but when we started, we were all very young. We were in our 20s, late 20s. And that team has always been very passionate about AV. So any new speaker we get to the office, they all come up and they all want to listen to it, play different tracks, listen to how good the bass frequency is, listen to how crisp the treble is. So I think that also kind of holds them in. Because
Passion
it's
for
not,
music, or example, for sound or for learning.
yeah, for all of that,
Curiosity.
and not just a very monotonous, desk job where it's just about drawing or filing or any of that. And yeah, the way I deal with my staff or my employees is that, we all sit for lunch together in the conference room.
Okay.
And over lunch, we talk about if anyone's facing issues on site anywhere. If they are, then I will personally go take a look where they are stuck, guide them. And also at the same time, I let them take their own decisions up to a certain extent.
Okay.
So even they feel that sense of ownership in a project, which is kind of satisfying for them as well.
Correct.
So they've been around for a really long time.
Yeah. So that's one very unique thing about Loud and Clear.
Yeah.
And again, for the audience, so they get a now slower perspective of who you are as a person. But the company has also become a good brand, right? So if you could share with us, what Loud and Clear does, and what has been the clients of Loud and Clear, then it could be very interesting for us to know.
Clients' personal names?
No, I mean like brands. Whatever you would like to share in context of what is the forte of Loud and Clear, where it sits in the whole thing, and which kind of segments it serves, and could be one or two customers, like brands which they have already served.
Okay, so Loud and Clear basically typically sits in the high-end, so far the high-end residential AV segment.
Okay.
All the villas that we see in Ahmedabad that are coming up, 10-15,000 square feet, mainly where they have a dedicated home cinema room. Loud and Clear is very well known for the expertise and the technical knowledge that we bring to the table.
Okay.
It could get a little challenging for the interior designers to work with us sometimes because we are very sure about the technical details that we want. Because listen, hey, this is a home cinema room, right? You're going to turn off the lights and watch the movie. A blue or a red curtain is not going to matter as much as the picture quality is going to matter or the sound quality is going to matter. So we get into sweet debates with the interior designers, and then eventually we find a middle path and design good systems. So we are known for being very technical. We are known for bringing the best products that your money can buy to your houses. And we are known for genuine work. And that's why without any marketing or without any advertisements, we've made it so far and thriving.
Okay. And you guys are not into corporate or example corporate environment in context of the audio systems, or it's only the residential ones?
So we are into a lot of institutional work also.
Okay.
Like for example, we've done boardrooms at Good Sale Terminal.
Okay.
Recently, we've done a lot of work for GLS College at Law Garden.
Okay.
A very interesting thing that we just did last year was a 270-seater auditorium.
Okay.
They already had the auditorium, which was in a really bad condition.
Okay.
And in a turnaround time of 60 days, we handed over a completely fresh auditorium with the latest technologies to the college.
Okay. So that's what made it interesting, or something else?
So the interesting bit was that we didn't have any restrictions at all in what we wanted to do.
Okay.
And we had all agencies under us. So we were appointed by a very well-renowned architect in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
And the designs were his, the technology backup was ours, and we had our teams work for us there.
Okay.
And because it was a no limits project, we put in the best technology and the best systems that you could buy.
Okay.
And the fun part was the challenge of turning it around in 60 days. It was about a 5,000 square feet auditorium.
Okay.
270 seats.
Okay.
So from scrapping the old interior to them having an orientation ceremony where Sudhir Bhai himself was speaking and we all were sitting in the control room and hearing him speak was a thrill. Yeah, that was exciting.
Okay. So coming to the aspects of the residential villas. So any interesting projects that you worked in a residential villa that was challenging, or that was fun, or that was unique for you as a challenge to take it up? sort of all of those, you know?
Yeah, like, in some projects you'll have a difficult client, some
Yeah.
projects you'll have a difficult interior designer, somewhere the room is
Location,
difficult. Well, there have been a couple of projects, very surprising for everyone to hear. They are in Balotra,
Okay.
which is a very small center in Rajasthan.
Yeah.
And there are these two brothers, industrialists, and they wanted the best home theater that could
Correct.
be possibly done.
Okay.
Now, handling a project of that value based out of Ahmedabad was a challenge.
Okay.
So we were so thorough with our drawings, with reference images from the other projects that we had done, and our constant supervision via video calls, via phone calls, and via site visits, that I was surprised how we could deliver such good quality, even though the location was so remote. It's very difficult to get a train to go to Balotra. It's an 8-hour drive and through really broken roads. So, you'll be tired and literally dead by the time you reach there. And then you have to finish that project. And this was during the peak time of COVID.
Oh, okay.
But then the client was so happy that now we are like literally family members. We get invitation for all their family functions. So challenge was taking up a project in a remote town like Balotra. And the satisfaction was delivering way beyond what the client expected and what we thought that, we could deliver.
Okay. So the aspect of sound, the aspect of audio. So for the audience to get a perspective, so why do you think it is one of the most important things? Because as you said, right, a lot of people are looking at connecting some wires and everything. So why do you feel this is super important?
See, if sound was just as simple as एक driver लेके just give it an amplifier with 2 cables, then these companies wouldn't be spending millions and millions in the R&D department of why the shape of the cabinet should be in a certain way, why the height, the internal space volume of the speaker should be in a certain way. No one would be inventing or working on different kinds of amplifiers, class A, class B, class D, class AB amplification. So there has to be some logic behind it, right? Now, to make an easy buck, to make an easy sale, your electrician is going to be like, I got you, I'll just go get 2 speakers, connect it to an amplifier and you'll have sound, right? But what is the quality of that sound? Are you someone who is okay with mediocre? Do you want something really good? So if you ask yourself these questions, you will not want to settle for what these guys are giving you. Now, when a movie is recorded on scene, when the sound is recorded, when the visuals are shot, right? They do it with some form of engineering. They have mic placements in a few certain areas to capture all that is happening around, right? So when Tom Cruise is riding his bike, right, in full speed, you hear the chatter that's happening on the street side cafes also. You hear the helicopter also. Now, 100% of that does not happen in post-production.
Right.
A lot of it is actually shot there, so it is accurate with the visuals that you are seeing there, right? Now, to reproduce that exact scenario back at your place, 5 speakers just randomly placed is not going to do the job. So, there are guidelines set by THX, set by CEDIA, set by HA. So these are all societies which define guidelines, right? Like Dolby also does. So if it is a Dolby recorded soundtrack, they've followed a few certain standards while recording it. So we have to again follow the same standards while processing it in a house. That is when you are actually going to get the effect of that entire surround sound.
Correct.
Now, if you ignore it, you're not going to get that same experience. Then I would say, why even get a home theater? Might as well turn it into an extra TV room, right? Or just make it a guest room. But if you are making it into a home theater, make sure you get the effect of the movie what the directors and the producers wanted you to see. That is also a form of art. So, and we are losing it. The number of cinemas that are there in all the cities are dropping day by day. Now, we grew up seeing that as a form of art. The next generation is not going to. So, if you have a cinema at home, it's going to help you teach your next generation what actually this art is.
Okay. And however, as you rightly said, no, there are electricians. There are now is the era of the automation people coming in. So what are the myths or what are the things that you feel should be broken with these guys in picture, with these guys providing service? Some part of it you spoke with the the electrical guys just fitting it put together. So are there any interesting tips that you feel that are the basic things that would be there for audio?
So in audio, your room size matters a lot.
Okay.
The number of seating capacity that you want based on your family size.
Okay.
The seating layout,
Okay.
where you are placed with reference to the projector screen
Okay.
and to the speakers,
Okay.
or where the speakers are placed with reference to where you are seated. All of this matters a lot.
Okay.
And there are a lot of detailed calculations that you have to do for this.
Okay.
And you can never ignore acoustics, room acoustics to be specific.
Okay.
Room acoustics works in multiple ways. One is isolating the room from outside sound.
Correct.
And isolating the other room next door from the sound that will be produced in that room.
Correct.
And then there is internal room acoustics also.
Okay.
So internal room acoustics can never be 100% absorption.
Okay.
You have to have some amount of diffusion also, because if it's 100% absorption, you can localize each speaker. You'll be able to pinpoint where each speaker is. Now that's not the idea. Again, going to the reference of Tom Cruise riding a bike, it's not that only 5 people are going to talk. There is sound everywhere.
Correct.
So you want to reproduce that. So for that, you need something called as a diffuser. So when sound hits a diffuser, it scatters sound in different directions.
Okay.
So with lesser number of speakers, lesser amount spent, you are getting more sound from different directions.
With the use of a diffuser.
With the use of a diffuser. Right. So you have to be very smart in where the placement of diffuser should be.
Okay.
Where absorption should happen.
Okay.
And where there should be reflection.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you have absorption everywhere, you're sitting in a very dead room.
Correct.
So that's not going to be fun.
Okay. So it's the math of the voice or the acoustic traveling around.
Correct.
So you're just mapping it in a 3D space environment.
Right.
And then aligning the positioning it with the device.
That's right. So these automation companies and electricians, they are IT guys or electrical guys. They are not acoustic guys. So for them to understand this is a big challenge. And where I come from, studying, how sound is recorded, to produce, to post-production, to reproduction of sound, how speakers are made. That's where we bring in our expertise. Yeah.
It's like a whole...
Because before that, I was completely clueless. My dad being an architect, I couldn't draw a straight line. So being an architect was out of question. Everyone in my family, like my elder sister was 2 years elder to me. She was doing arts. Again, straight line bhi nahi banti aur flower bhi nahi design kar sakta.
ये तो है नहीं.
There was no family business at all. My uncle is an architect. My aunt is an architect. So
architect family, I think.
So there's nothing else I could do, like inherit any business or anything. So I had to carve out my own way only then.
Okay.
So till then I was clueless. But after that I was so focused because I loved it.
Yeah. And you're going for the love of it. And then everything was else happening. Apart, I think,
Like even today, if I sit in any friend's car, the first thing I'll do is check the sound system settings.
So default mode, is it?
It's a default mode. And now if the car system is not that great, I'll rather put it on mute than listen to anything.
Because your ears can't listen to it. It's painful.
Yeah. No, so honestly, a client of mine told me. So he's from Baroda actually, right? He told me this, that Karan, sound is like a luxury car.
Okay.
Once you hear good sound, you cannot listen to poor quality. Like once you sit in a Mercedes and then you have to sit in a Maruti, you're not going to enjoy it because you get pampered. So like your body gets pampered to comfort, your ears also get pampered to comfort.
Okay.
And that is 100% true. I never noticed it till he told me that, and then I was sitting and like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
So your job is to get people more comfortable with sound. And
give them a taste of luxury sound.
Luxury sound. That's better. That's a better part of it.
Yeah.
And what role has like luck played in your life?
I don't know.
It's not lucky after all this that has happened.
Yeah, I think everything's been luck then.
Yeah. So a lot of back to back, I think lucks. Being driven, and I think everybody it's all got connected, I think, because you're so
Backing up luck
yeah.
with dedication and hard work.
Yeah, dedication, hard work was going on, and the luck followed.
Yeah.
I think that's how it got.
I took a decision, luck helped me,
Huh.
and then I put in hard work to reach where I wanted to
Correct.
to get what I set out for.
Correct. And are you doing projects abroad or you're doing projects within India?
So we've consulted quite a few
Okay.
clients abroad also.
Okay.
Like we've done a project in Pune, and the client is from Muscat,
Okay.
and he is a big industrialist there,
Okay.
and he's connected to the who's and who there.
Okay.
So once he called me up and said, Karan bhai, tamare yahan aવું padse. And I was like, is it for your house? He's like, no, it's for a very dear friend's house. I said, okay, fair enough, we'll do it. So when I landed in Dubai, the hotel was booked, the car was there. The first thing that next day I was taken to their office to design it because they wouldn't send the drawings.
Okay.
And I enter the office space and they request for my phone. They make me sign an NDA.
Okay.
And then they give me drawings to start working on without disclosing the name. So obviously it was for someone in the royal family there. So I designed everything in a week's time and suggested everything that they should be getting installed and all of that. And I was flown back.
Okay.
So that was something
very discreet.
Very discreet.
CIA.
Even I don't know who my client is today. Even today I don't know who my client is.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one project. And then we've consulted for quite a few projects in the US.
Okay.
Right now we are doing one in Australia.
Okay.
We've done a couple in London.
Okay.
So yeah, we do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Some virtually online, just sending across drawings and then giving system recommendations, specification, installation guidelines, SOPs.
Okay.
And some actually going there, designing, installing, calibrating.
Okay.
Because calibrating a system is again a speciality that we have.
Okay.
Because once the system is installed, the manufacturer doesn't know what kind of a room it's going into.
Correct.
Manufacturer doesn't know what speakers, what electronics are going to be connected to it. So we go in with our calibration microphones, software, hardware.
Okay.
We take readings in the room. We see which frequencies are not behaving properly in the room. We cut them off. Which are not responding to the room, we boost them up and give a very smooth response, a frequency response to the speakers.
Okay.
So calibration is a big requirement. Element of what you do.
And are you also manufacturing your own speakers, or do you see that happening, or like how is that thought?
So I told you about the workshop that I had, right? During college in Bombay. So I was manufacturing speakers. And for my dad's interior projects, we were custom manufacturing speakers.
Okay.
Like whatever color, shape, size the customer, the client would want to match his interiors.
Okay.
So we used to do it back then.
Okay.
And again, immaturity or what, but I named that brand Ashanti. So we made about 400 sets of 5.1 home theater for the mass market, not customized.
Okay.
For the mass market.
Okay.
Sold it out in about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
But then I shifted to Ahmedabad, and manufacturing was getting very challenging back then because during those days Chinese products were plenty. So I remember I was selling my 5.1 speaker set for about 45,000-50,000 rupees.
Okay.
And there was only the speaker set, and there was like at least 100 Chinese options for 20,000-25,000 5.1 speaker set with an amplifier.
Oh.
And Make in India was not there that time. So people didn't have any confidence in Indian products.
Correct.
Now Indian products matter. They hold a more premium over any other Chinese products.
Yeah.
So that is when I decided to stop manufacturing.
Okay.
I regret it. I don't regret it. I'm not sure, but
okay.
Even today I use one of those systems, and I think 4 or 5 I have not sold, which I've kept. Like whenever I make a new place, I'm going to install it there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, because I used to use the best quality German components in my speakers.
Okay.
That was one of the reasons why they were expensive.
Okay.
And the kind of paint finish that I had was something that no one in the industry across the world had it. There were companies which had 7 layers of lacquer paint. I was doing 9 layers of lacquer paint.
Okay.
So the speaker literally looked like a black glass if it was a black color speaker. And I also had a rosewood color, so it would look like a rosewood and a glass on top of it.
Oh, wow.
The paint quality was that good because it was all under my control. And for me, I never targeted at a particular price point.
Okay.
My target was to bring the best Indian speaker to the market.
Okay. And which is your favorite audio gear, I think?
So very debatable question because depends on the application. Is it a home cinema? Then yes, I think my favorite would be Procella Audio.
Okay.
Which is from Sweden.
Okay.
Is it a lifestyle product? Is it for the living room? Then I guess Bang & Olufsen.
Okay.
Is it for really high quality stereo listening? Is it a den kind of a setup or like a lounge kind of setup where I just want to read a book and listen to music? Then I think Meridian Audio, which is from the UK.
Okay.
So different applications, different favorites. Outdoor sound, James loudspeakers from the US.
Okay.
They make really good outdoor speakers.
Okay.
And they're made out of aircraft grade aluminium. They give lifetime warranty on it.
Okay.
And they're used on yachts with the seawater, nothing happens to it.
Okay.
And they're so confident about it, they're giving lifetime warranty.
Okay. Do you see yourself going back into manufacturing next coming 5 years, 10 years? Because I think it's again a part where it all started, all right? It all started with assembling, going to Lamington Road and buying parts, I think. So is it going to be a complete circle in the next 5-7 years, or what do you feel?
Now that's an idea that you've just planted in my head.
So it completes the circle. I think all the elements are there in terms of volume, the brand.
Yes, they are. The challenge would be making the brand today. Because today the market is flooded with so many brands. And making an identity for yourself is the challenge. But I think Sonodyne, if you've heard of, 100% Indian brand. They've done very well for themselves. And I really look up to the kind of image that they've made for them. And now they're international.
And why do you find them as the best, or they've done well?
Really good quality, popular, and now the international market demands for it. So...
Okay.
And obviously sales and numbers, they talk a lot about the quality of the product also.
Okay. So एक जो क्वेश्चन है मेरे मन में कि भाई जो आपने एक शेयर किया इन टर्म्स ऑफ कैलिब्रेटिंग, राइट? क्योंकि मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को ऐसा लगता है बिकॉज उनको नहीं पता कि रूम साइज़ क्या है, और उनको नहीं पता कि कौन सी डिवाइसेस फिक्स हो रहे हैं, उनको नहीं पता कि बाकी सारे वेरिएबल्स क्या है, राइट? एंड यू आर देयर इन पर्सन, तो आपको उसकी एस्पेक्ट्स आइडिया है. So why do you feel calibration करने से क्या benefit मिल सकता है?
So calibration, अगर मैं समझाऊँ तो it is very clearly, it means that getting the best output that product can give.
Okay. Product is मतलब उसका मतलब speaker and उसके साथ में जो accessories आया है.
Yes. हर एक device जो पूरी chain में है जो calibrate हो सकती है.
Okay. Together as a single thing.
केबल इज अ पैसिव डिवाइस, उसको आप कैलिब्रेट नहीं कर पाओगे. एम्पलीफायर जो है उसको कैलिब्रेट कर पाओगे, वो सॉफ्टवेयर है उसमें. प्रोजेक्टर को आप कैलिब्रेट कर पाओगे, सॉफ्टवेयर है उसमें. स्पीकर आप नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि वो पैसिव डिवाइस है. उसको जो इनपुट मिलेगा वही वो आउटपुट देने वाला है. वो खुद का दिमाग नहीं लगा रहा है. सो प्रोजेक्टर को कैलिब्रेट ऐसे करना है कि व्हेन यू आर प्रोजेक्टिंग स्क्रीन पे, ठीक है, तो कलर्स क्या दिख रहे हैं आपको, बिकॉज फैब्रिक भी चेंज होगा, तो आपका रेड पिंक हो सकता है, रेड ऑरेंज हो सकता है. सो फैब्रिक कौन सा है और कैसे रिफ्लेक्ट होके दिख रहा है, राइट? सो एक कैमरा आता है जिससे वो कैप्चर करेगा एक्यूरेसी ऑफ द रेड कलर. सो वो सारे कलर्स कैप्चर करके आपको मिलेगा कि कितने कलर्स ऑफ है और कितने एक्यूरेट है. सो ये करने के बाद यू टेल द प्रोजेक्टर कि नहीं, मेरे को रेड में इतना, जो आप सेटिंग्स में जाओगे तो यू विल सी कि ह्यू कितना चाहिए आपको, गेन कितना चाहिए सारे कलर्स का. सो बेसिकली इट हैपेंस फॉर RGB, राइट? तो अगर आप वो सब सिलेक्ट कर लेते हो, वो रहेगा अबाउट 5% का ट्यूनिंग, बट वो 5% will make the whole difference.
Okay.
You will actually see कि अगर 5% में वाइट शर्ट पहना है तो वाइट शर्ट में जो शैडो की वजह से स्लाइट ग्रे आ रहा है, विदाउट कैलिब्रेशन इट विल लुक फ्लैट वाइट. बट विद अ राइट कैलिब्रेटेड प्रोजेक्टर और मॉनिटर
हाँ
तो उसको आप में शेड्स भी दिखेंगे
ओके
जो एक्चुअल मेरे सामने आप बैठे हो और आप देख पाओगे वो आपको स्क्रीन से दिखेंगे.
ओके ओके
सिमिलरली फॉर साउंड रूम में अकूस्टिक्स है. अभी कोई हर एक मटेरियल की अकूस्टिक फ्रीक्वेंसी रिस्पॉन्स अलग रहता है.
करेक्ट
सो कोई फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़्यादा रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही है
हाँ
तो उसको एम्पलीफायर बोलेगा इसको कम कर देता हूँ.
Hmm.
तो वो जितना बूस्ट हो रही है वो वापस न्यूट्रल पे आ जाएगी.
Hmm.
जो बिल्कुल सुनाई नहीं दे रही है क्योंकि वो ज़्यादा एब्जॉर्ब हो रही है कर्टन में
करेक्ट
तो उसको थोड़ा और पुश कर देगा एम्पलीफायर. तो वो स्पीकर वो फ्रीक्वेंसी थोड़ी और प्ले करेगा.
Correct.
तो जो नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है वो वापस सुनाई देगा.
ओके
सो इट बिकम बहुत स्मूथ हो जाता है साउंड.
ओके ओके
सो कैलिब्रेशन इज द चेरी ऑन द केक.
ओके ओके एंड सो जो लोग एग्जाम्पल घरों में एग्जाम्पल होम थिएटर्स हैं सिस्टम्स हैं सो दे उनको ये एक्सप्लोर करना चाहिए कि जस्ट टेकिंग इन कैलिब्रेशन सर्विसेज और वो खुद भी कैलिब्रेशन कर सकते हैं और इट्स वेरी टेक्निकल.
इट्स वेरी टेक्निकल.
ओके
तो वो खुद तो कैलिब्रेशन नहीं कर
पाए.
सकते.
ओके ओके
बट अगेन हर एक डिवाइस यू कैन नॉट कैलिब्रेट.
करेक्ट हर एक एक्टिव डिवाइस
एक्टिव डिवाइस.
Okay.
हाँ तो कैलिब्रेशन के लिए द डिवाइस हैज़ टू सपोर्ट कैलिब्रेशन.
ओके फंक्शनैलिटी उसमें होनी
फंक्शनैलिटी होनी चाहिए.
चाहिए ओके इन स्पाइट ऑफ बीइंग एक्टिव.
या बट बेसिक कैलिब्रेशन फंक्शनैलिटी हर एक में आती है.
ओके
लाइक आप अगर यामाहा मरांस डेनिन ये सब के एम्पलीफायर्स लेंगे
हाँ
तो उसमें बेसिक कैलिब्रेशन आता है.
ओके
बट उसमें एक एडवांस कैलिब्रेशन भी आता है जो
अच्छा
नॉर्मल यूजर नहीं कर पाएंगे. बट वी हैव द सॉफ्टवेयर्स पेड
Okay.
सॉफ्टवेयर्स वेयर वी कैन एंटर इनटू दैट एम्पलीफायर
Okay.
और उसकी डिटेल्ड सेटअप लिस्ट ओपन करके उसके अंदर हम कर सकते हैं.
ओके भी कनेक्टेड एंड एम्बेडेड सॉफ्टवेयर में से उसमें निकालना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
उसको अपग्रेड करना पड़ेगा फर्मवेयर पे. ओके
और जो माइक्रोफोन्स हम ले जाते हैं दे आर ऑल्सो वेरी सेंसिटिव कि वो प्रॉपर एक्यूरेसी से सेंस करेगा रूम के अंदर.
ओके
अगर जो सप्लाइड रेगुलर वाला आता है वो रख दिया तो दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू गिव यू एक्यूरेट रिजल्ट्स.
सो लाइक यू नो सो एज मेक इन इंडिया हो रहा है लाइक यू नो लॉट ऑफ विलास तो बन रहे हैं बट उस विलास के पीछे लॉट ऑफ बोर्ड रूम्स है लॉट ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस है एंड कोविड ने फिर बीच में एक्सेलेट भी कर लिया था इन टर्म्स ऑफ जूम कॉल्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ दीज काइंड ऑफ कॉल्स ऑल्सो बोर्ड रूम मीटिंग्स एंड एवरीथिंग. तो एंड इंडियन कंपनीज आर ग्रोइंग राइट. वो मल्टीपल सिटीज़ में आ रही है वो पैन इंडिया जा रही है वो ग्लोबल जा रही है. सो कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस के लिए जिनके बोर्ड रूम्स हैं उनके लिए आपके पास में व्हाट आर योर टिप्स और एग्जाम्पल सजेशंस वेयर दे आर हैविंग कॉन्फ्रेंसेस और एग्जाम्पल वो टीम मीटिंग्स कर रही है विथ अदर ब्रांचेस और दे आर डूइंग टीम मीटिंग्स विद देयर कस्टमर्स. सो व्हाट आर दी बेसिक थिंग्स आपको क्या लगता है कि भाई उनको ये देखना चाहिए?
So these are very basic things.
हाँ
Conferences and video conferencing systems and multi-outlet, like multiple office video calls.
हाँ
They're very basic systems.
हाँ
So there are a couple of factories that we are doing that are so interesting.
हाँ
They are over about 100 acres,
Okay.
spread across 100 acres. And now when the buyers come in,
हाँ
right, to buy whatever that factory is
Customer,
manufacturing,
ठीक है.
they want to give a very nice experience.
Hmm.
So they want to give sound across the driveways,
अच्छा
the walkways,
ओके
even in the viewing balcony. Like जो बड़े बड़े warehouses या workshops है उसमें एक viewing balconies है which are air conditioned.
करेक्ट
They want to give sound there.
हाँ
They want to also give sound in the cafeterias for employee welfare, whatever.
करेक्ट.
Now how do you send signal on kilometer long cables
Without loss.
without loss? Now who controls what systems to activate, what not to activate? Who controls and how does one control where to send off a message that please meet at this assembly point at so and so time because the buyers would like to come and say hi. So we are doing 2 factories.
Okay.
Everything is over IP. As long as you have a Cat6 cable around there,
Okay.
you connect it and this room is active.
Okay.
You can assign this room as a studio and the manager of the entire plant can control it on a software from their computer.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
And the software is
that
loud
is-
and clear.
No, the software is by a manufacturer who makes
Okay.
these IP enabled amplifiers,
Okay.
control panels and speakers.
Okay. Okay.
So you assign each room over IP, you will see the list of all those rooms,
Huh.
and you can assign, okay, room number 1, 3, 8, 10, 12.
Huh.
You want to send out this music at this
Okay.
volume.
Okay.
So no one in the factory, no one else except for the manager can fidget with it.
Okay.
It's all centrally controlled, located, and sent out.
Okay. Okay.
That I think is very interesting and the future,
Hmm.
because value added, like how else are you going to add value to it?
Hmm.
You can't make your plant air conditioned because you're manufacturing. There are,
Huge spaces and
huge spaces. So this is something that you can do, and that's going to, improve your efficiency for the employees.
And this has to be manually activated in the journey. I mean, in context of the customer coming in, the walkway, the boardroom example, high low, walking around. So this person is sitting behind and manually flipping those things, or it's a default setting that is set and it just plays
So it can be automated to whatever
some
you
rules
imagine.
or exceptions.
Yeah,
Okay.
all possibilities.
Okay.
You want to play it at a certain time, you want to stop it at a certain time, you want to keep stepping up the volume as the day progresses, keep stepping down the volume as the day progresses. It's all possible.
Okay. Okay.
So there is another very interesting project that we are doing,
Huh.
which is a black box theater.
Okay. Black
Now-
box theater.
Yeah, a black box theater.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what a black box theater is basically. Typically, the idea started with a completely black color room,
Okay.
right? And a clean room with no furniture.
Okay.
So this was for theater artists to practice.
Okay.
And they could practice in any format that they would want, not only as a proscenium, which means a stage, but even in the center of the room, they want to practice and they want the audience around them. So typically you'll see a lot of black box theaters in the city where theater artists go and practice or perform.
Okay.
So the interesting sound system that we are doing there is we are going to give them live tracking for each and every artist.
Okay.
So the artist just wears a tag in the pocket, on the waist, on the collar.
Okay.
And we have immersive speakers across the black box.
Okay.
So wherever the artist is placed, the audience is looking at them from the balcony.
Okay.
The sound is following the artist.
Oh.
So the artist is there, the speaker right behind the artist is amplifying that sound.
Okay.
When the artist moves this side, the sound is moving with them.
Oh.
So they are being tracked by the tag system. And this can go up to 32 artists also.
Okay.
So wherever the artist is in that room, because it's a huge room, normal talking is not audible everywhere. So wherever the artist is, the speaker closest to them is going to amplify their sound.
Wow. So that must be very interesting. Even the performance to watch, I think, right? I think that will be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very immersive.
Yeah. And do you feel anything happening in the VR AR space, or do you feel what path is the audio video system going to take in the future?
So personalized equipment is kind of getting popular. Like everyone has their AirPods these days.
Correct. Customized, for example.
Customized. So that could be the upcoming trend for experiences, for giving you a 3D view of your next house interior.
Correct.
So for those kind of things, yes. But I don't see it replacing home entertainment anytime soon.
Okay.
Because
especially the luxury one.
Yeah, especially the luxury one. Because it gets annoying to, have the AirPod in for 2 hours while you're watching a movie. Also, you don't want to watch it on a tablet. Even with your AR, VR glasses, you don't want to feel the weight of that entire, device on your head. So it's not going to replace an actual cinema or an actual stereo system anytime soon.
It's just going to be in one more way of watching it for one more particular segment of people who are very far off, for example. They can't be together watching a movie, or very different use
case. While traveling, I think that's the best use case.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. So Karan, as an entrepreneur, I mean, it's been over 18 years as an entrepreneur, having a team that is stayed with him for a long time, and growing and example balancing his life. So what does he do when he's not working?
So I'm a total adventure person. I'm either riding horses, racing karts, or 30 meters below the ocean.
Okay. So when did this start? I mean, it started way back in 10th, or when did this gradually it started, or like what happened?
So, horse riding has been in my blood ever since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
My father used to be a very good rider,
Okay.
equestrian,
Okay.
and that's where me and my sister picked it up from.
Okay.
Father, because of his age, he doesn't ride anymore.
Hmm.
But I'm an avid rider. Like
Okay.
every opportunity and chance I get, I'm riding somewhere, either in Bombay or here.
Okay. So how do you feel when you're riding?
Oh, well, that's an experience. You know, you can't explain, but I would say you feel free, you feel liberated, you feel just in your own zone when that wind is going through your face, your hair, and it's pin drop silence, and it's you and that royal, majestic animal under your control. It's just different feeling.
Okay. And how is that different or similar to the racing you or the 30 meters below the ocean you?
So racing me is something very new.
Okay.
Like in Ahmedabad, go-karting recently started, I think a couple of years back.
Okay.
And I picked it up a year back.
Okay.
And I've loved cars ever since, you know.
Okay. Okay.
And 30 meters, yeah, scuba diver, certified advanced scuba diver.
Okay.
Love the silence underwater.
Okay.
As soon as you deflate your BCD and you start going down,
So different world.
you cut off from the world, you cut off from the noise in your ears, and all you're hearing is just bubbles going.
Bubbles,
And yeah, seeing those magnificent, colorful marine life, insane. I think it's an experience everyone should try and get.
Okay. And what are you thinking when you're underwater, or like, so what's going on your mind, or like?
I think that's when I'm not thinking anything. In fact, I'm just thinking that
The calmest.
what next is going to come in front of me? Which fish will I see next?
Not a shark.
What color? Well, sharks are really cute.
Is it?
Yeah. Like this July, I was diving in Maldives.
Depends on which shark.
All of them. Yeah, like
Including the great white.
Yeah, like you wouldn't want to tease that shark.
Okay.
But yeah, even if they come close to you, they are not going to harm you. As long as you have the right etiquettes of being around sharks, you're good, you're comfortable. Yeah. So there were, I think, like 8-9 nurse sharks.
Okay.
They're really nice. They'll swim around you, go back and come from up, and it's all cool with them.
They're also curious.
Very curious
to know what this being is.
Very curious.
In our area.
And more curious are manta rays.
Okay. Oh, and okay.
So, and manta rays are very playful, very social, and they typically love to swim above you because the bubbles on their belly, they love it. So, wherever you'll see bubbles, you'll see like a manta ray hovering above you just to get the experience of those bubbles. And they're huge. They're like 15 feet by 15 feet.
Yeah.
And just to see that around you, like above you, flying like a bird inside water is magical.
Got it. So in the aspect of the team, I just wanted to get a perspective. So do you have any interesting, interesting habits around team, or in terms of team building or team bonding? One interesting habit is having lunch together. So that's very interesting to know. You have lunch with the whole team put together. And that also bonds you, and you're also having this conversation also part of it. So it's lunch and just catching up, not trying as a meeting kind of a thing, but where I can help you with what's going wrong and that kind of a thing. Because it's a close-knit team working with a passion, curiosity on getting things. So are there any interesting practices that you're doing within your company? And this very interesting space, right? Because you're in this high-end luxury audio space, very unique and very rare segment that you're seeing. So any interesting practices?
So, team dinners, lunch, we do these things.
Okay.
And always so we go out for that.
Okay.
And during everyday lunch, it's also trying to know their family. What standard is your kid in today? Asking those kind of questions, so they feel more like a family. So tomorrow, if they have to, if they are thinking about leaving the office, they'll be like, oh, I'm leaving my family. And probably, I guess that has worked for me for so long. And yeah, like annual trips we take.
Okay.
So I think those kind of things, and just being like a not very strict
Bossy or a
boss.
control freak.
Yeah.
Any interesting quotes you have in mind?
Passion to profession.
Passion to profession. Okay. And why? I think.
So I really feel that, if someone asks me, what would you advise? I would be like, convert your passion to profession and you'll never be working a single day in your life. Because for me, even, waking up at 7 o'clock to take a flight for a meeting,
Okay.
I'm never regretting it. I'm looking forward to it.
It's fun. It's
fun.
It's part of life.
A long discussion, technical discussion with a client is fun. It's not like, kitna time le raha hai yaar? And be like, oh no, I'll spend more time with you. Ask me more questions. Because then I will enjoy giving you the result.
Perspective or my thoughts or intake.
Yeah.
For him to know better and then take decision better, I think.
Yeah.
You're again helping him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if I'm out for a long vacation, I kind of miss my office. I miss work.
Oh, is it?
I want to go back to work. I'm like, yeah, what's happening in office? Like FOMO happens. Like, what's happening in office? Yeah, these guys must be watching nice movies, listening to good quality music. I want to be there.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be there. So, yeah, I think if you do that, then that's the best thing.
So cool, Karan. I think it's been incredible to have you on the podcast and sharing, getting to know your journey in this space of audio video systems, in the luxury space, especially for homes or villas that's happening, and again in the industrial space as well that you're trying to do. The interesting part is where it all started in 10th standard when your dad said something, and that I think is something that turned around everything in your life. And then followed with it with hard work and perseverance. I think luck has played its part to get you going. And all the best wishes from our end to complete it into a full circle where we would see a loud and clear brand soon. And I feel that it's the right time because a lot of things are happening in India in context of the PCBs, assembly, all the aspects are there, and the knowledge, the experience, the brand already exists. So all the best to you, and thank you so much for being on the podcast.
It was a pleasure.